You're making it complicated. You overthinking it. You're stopping before you're starting. You're writing down a plan and you don't need one right now. Quick way, back door, how I got in as a merchant seaman. I applied for my TWIC card. I did not go to the academy. I did not go through SIU. I applied for my TWIC card online and paid $125. I got the card back in 45 days. Why did I get the TWIC card? Because I knew the TWIC card would give me access to the ports. The ports would give me access to the vessel. So once I got that TWIC card in the mail, that was my first step into the back door. Then what did I do? I started on Indeed. I looked on Indeed for day cooks. I knew I could cook. I cook for my family. I cook for Thanksgiving. I cook for holidays. I cook for every event that I host at my house. So I knew that I could cook. If I could cook for a family of 10 or more or gatherings at my house for 25 or 30, I knew that I could cook on the vessel. So I went on Indeed and did cooks on the vessel. Believe it or not, you guys, there are a lot of temporary agencies that hire cooks to go work on the vessels. Sometimes some of the vessels do not have the position for a dishwasher or a cook, so they will hire a temp agency. You could get in through the temp agency. I went and I applied on Indeed, did my resume, went to the interview. When I came out of that interview, they hired me as the camp boss. That is the highest position on the vessel in the galley, where you call it camp boss or chief steward, based on me having the TWIC card. Once again, I did not go to the academy. First vessel I got on, I told you I started out as dishwasher. She was wanting me to go on as the camp boss, but I told her I need the experience. Let me go on as the dishwasher first. I went in as the dishwasher, and guess what? I wasn't there to wash dishes. I learned the galley. I stayed after shift and I watched how each of the appliances was how I what were each of the appliances, because the equipment is different on the vessel than in your kitchen at home. So I started out as a dishwasher. I went on my first deployment as a dishwasher for 4 weeks and I learned everything. And then also to YouTube University. Okay, so here I am. I'm on the vessel. I have my TWIC card. And then, I'm sorry, let me go back. When I got hired on with the temporary agency, I did have to pass the medical exam. So, what I did was we went through the employment process and I got my medical exam that was approved, a licensed doctor who actually filled out. And guess what I did, you guys? Remember, I keep telling you that you need your MMC, your Merchant Marina credential. With that Merchant Marina credential, it requires that you have your physical being done on you to let you know that, to let them know that you are, that you're capable, that you're in health, you're in good health to work on the vessel. So with the physical that I had to do for the temp agency, that I went to a licensed doctor and he signed off on my physical. I requested a copy of that physical. Why are you requesting a copy of your physical, Yvonne? Because I used a copy of that physical to submit my application for my MMC, which is your credential that you need to work offshore, the credential that you need to work on the vessels. Now, did the temporary agency know that I was just using this as my um as experience? No. Did the temp agency know that my overall goal was to get on a bigger vessel and to work internationally? No. What I did was I told them that I was interested in this position. I wanted to work offshore on these vessels. So like I stated, with my TWIC card, and then I got my medical document from the doctor, my physical. And when I got on the vessel and I got off the vessel, I took that medical exam, the medical physical, and I sent it off so that I could process my MMC credential that I needed. Okay, so I get on the vessel. The first time I was the dishwasher. Remember now at the interview, because you get me into interview in the interview, I promise you I could close the deal. I promise you the company will hire me. And it's just not based on um who's the interviewer. It's based on you being confident, you knowing that you have that position. So when after I did the in the interview, she hired me as the camp boss, going back to the camp boss as I stated. So the next vessel that I was placed on after I did the dishwashing, I told her for the first 4 weeks that I was on my first vessel after I went in as a dishwasher, and everybody was looking at me like, oh, you're the dishwasher, don't for a temporary moment. Don't think that someone is belittling you. Don't think that you have to start off big. You can start off small. Mentally, you guys, prepare yourself to do what needs to be done to get where you need to be. Yes, my target was to be on the vessel getting paid top money as a cook or either as the camp boss. But I started out small as the dishwasher, and I didn't mind washing the dishes because I was there for more than that. Catch me if you can. Okay, so then as I got on the vessel the second time around, I was now the camp boss. So the camp boss was responsible for ordering the groceries. The camp boss is also to your cook. Either they're going to be the day cook or the night cook, but mostly the camp boss is the day cook. I took the position as the night cook. Your camp boss is on your smaller vessels, and when I say smaller vessels, I'm talking about um, men on the deck would probably be 50 to 75. You're going to have your morning shift, your midday shift, and then your night shift on the vessel. Okay. So on the vessel, I was your night cook slash camp boss. I was responsible for ordering our groceries. I was responsible for putting the groceries away. And I also was responsible for my galley hand and also to any other responsibilities in the galley as the cook. And once again, I'm on as a merchant seaman, as with all my credentials, with my TWIC card, and I'm waiting in the mail for my MMC to come on. So I'm on this vessel getting the experience that I need to get me to where I'm trying to go. So this is hands-on experience. Okay, so I was working out of Louisiana. So that's another thing, you guys. Wherever these ports are, the companies do require that you have as I stated, they do require that you have the TWIC card, and they do, that you can have a government ID. You're a U.S. citizen. You do not have to have a passport right now at this moment because you're not traveling international. So I was working out of the Gulf. So only thing that I did need with that TWIC card was my water survivor class. So with the water survivor class, I had to take a it's called T Hewitt. It's a water survival course that you take with on a helicopter, because a lot of times on these vessels you will be transported by a helicopter to get to these vessels. You will be transported to different boats. If that boat cannot come in at dock or come in to the port, then you would use a helicopter to take you out to when they do shift change. So it was required that I take the T Hewitt class and I have my TWIC card. So with that, you guys, I'm just letting you know you could go through the back door. You do not have to wait. I did not want to go to the academy, or I chose not to go to the academy because, like I stated, I'm over 40. I didn't have the time or the endurance to go to the academy. I didn't know how long the academy was taking, and this is a career that I wanted to hurry up and jump into. I did not go through SIU. The reason why I didn't go through, not saying that I would not go later, but the reason why I did not go to SIU because it was additional requirements that was needed to get me out on the vessel. Like I stated, the STCW, you do have to have that to be a merchant seaman, but I did not need that at that time. So that's why I did not go to SIU, because they wanted me to right then take the STCW course. And I didn't want to pay to take the STCW course. I wanted another company to pay for my STCW course. The STCW course costs from $1,200 to $1,500. That wasn't my goal. I wanted another company to pay that amount, so I didn't go through SIU. What I did was I went on Indeed and I applied through a temporary agency, a catering company that hired me on. You could get hired on to work a galley hand position, or you could be the cook. So that's how I got started, you guys. Just briefly, as a merchant seaman, there are other ways. Look at all opportunities. There are a lot of ways to get in. Excuse me. There are a lot of ways to get in the back door. If you have to get it out the mud and go through the back door, do that. Does that disqualify me to because I came on another way than you? know, because I have the experience. So that was my first job. Now I'm going on to work with the Military Sealift Command. But my first job was through a temporary agency at a catering company. I went on as the dishwasher, from the cook to the camp boss. So if I could do it, you could do it. Stop thinking it out too long. Go and win. Have a good day.